Educators and young people going through the educational system are being dragged into spiritualism through science today. You've heard of Kirlian photography that's represented by this picture on the screen. It's believed in the occult that every individual has this body that lives on after death. This body is an energy field that they believe cohabits ours, and that through certain mental exercises you can control that body. Like in the picture on the screen right now. It shows a man leaving his body connected by an electronic thread that comes from the pituitary gland in the brain. They believe that through mental exercises that a person can actually leave his body, travel around in time and distance and space, and then come back to his body at will. And thousands, if not millions, of young people have been deceived by this in workshops in our state universities. You can get a 4-year degree in witchcraft today. The last time they surrounded the administration building in Berkeley, California, to do a student demonstration, it was a group of witches with robes, students in the classes there at the college holding hands, doing a witchcraft chant. That's where the world is going today. The next picture is a picture of Edgar Cayce, who made the whole concept of holistic medicine very popular by his psychic readings. He claimed, just like a Hindu guru would, that his mind made contact with a secret place in the universe called the Akasha Records, where he's supposed to have gathered all this knowledge. Because of so many of his unconscious readings became accurate, again it added fuel to the idea that the human mind can contact the world beyond and be used for humanitarian purposes today. And that's why this picture on the screen here shows a holistic health food store. Many people don't realize that much of the holistic movement is bound in witchcraft and occultism today and is an evangelical tool for the devil. People in this movement believe that they're improving their body and mind. They are. But they're improving it for the purpose of communication with the spirit world. Many of these people are actually more sincere than our Christians. When my wife was having our last child, we didn't want to have it in a hospital, so we looked for a midwife. We found a wonderful young woman, and her whole interest in life was in serving people. And as we talked with her, we knelt and we prayed with her, and she would pray to God. And when we visited her house, one day I noticed her book. There wasn't a Christian book in the house. Every book was an occult book. And later when she came back to the trailer where we were living, I said, "Are you a witch?" And she said, "Yes, I am. How did you know?" "Well, I noticed your books." "Where did you pick up your faith at?" "It was a witch on the East Coast." But I don't go in for the practice of witchcraft or the craft. I'm interested in serving humanity with natural therapies. It's a tremendous deception. She was a lovely lady. And I believe many of these people, if we can get our act together as Christians, can be won to our faith. Many of these people may be more sincere than we are. But it was a witch that delivered our child. An amazing and shocking experience. The picture on the screen right now illustrates the fact that much of the massage, much of the natural therapy comes from the philosophy of the East, or from China, and revolves around the teaching of the body aura and the science of Kundalini, or the serpent energies in the body. They believe that there are 7 or so chakra points in the spine where the circulation of body energies flow through. These are in contact with every organ. And by touching certain locations on the body called acupuncture or acupressure points, which are laid out in 360 points originally and 12 meridians after the astrological teachings of the heavens, that somehow they can balance out the flow of body energy and balance the yin and yang in the body. And this has become the foundation of many of modern healing techniques. People getting into the areas of these electrical or aura healings are dangerously treading on the area of witchcraft and the occult. You've heard of the pyramid power. It's the same concept of energies that can be used. The pyramid was used by the ancient priests of Egypt for initiation. They'd put a man in a coffin there. The man would lay in the coffin, and then his spirit, supposedly, through the energy forces in the pyramid, would shoot straight up into the heavens, be purified, make contact with the gods, and come to earth, and then he would be a medium between heaven and earth. These energy fields are areas where Satan can come into your mind and contact you from his world. Now, a man by the name of Bovis, a French scientist, once put his scientific equipment in the middle of a pyramid, and he found that these tremendous forces flowed through there. And since that time, pyramid power has become popular. And friends, if people that don't believe the Bible will take these interesting phenomena that they think are natural and will play around with them, with the results that they lose control over their own mind. A dear friend of mine who experimented with astral travel found one day he couldn't come back to his body in his mind. He was being thrown through outer space, through the stars in his thinking, and he was being taken to destruction, and he cried out, even in his ignorance of God, he cried out, "God, save me." And as he continued to pray that God would save him, he was systematically brought into the Christian faith and became a Seventh-day Adventist Christian. Today, many people with the wands and the water wishings and the pendulums to search for water or items don't realize that that's another medium by which satanic spirits can control our hearts and control our minds. The picture on the screen now is a woman who is ignorantly playing around with the devil doing water witching, claiming that the body is an electronic instrument and through that stick will have a sympathetic electronic attraction to the water, which has a slight magnetic charge. Friends, I studied with a man who did this professionally for a while. He came to me privately and he said, "Listen, I can't love my wife anymore and I don't know what's wrong. I don't love my children and I'm an elder in a church and yet I have no interest in Christianity." He says, "I know that something's wrong inside me. I can't even read my Bible." We got down on our knees and prayed. I found out that he had done water witching and we bound the power of Satan. And I had him confess the sin of being in contact with the occult. 2 weeks later, his wife came to me. She says, "I don't know what you talked to my husband about, but he's not the same man. He's out there visiting people in their homes and praying with them. He studies his Bible every evening, and we have the most loving relationship today." Friends, you get involved with these spirits and you lose the joy of life that can come with a proper relationship with God. The picture on the screen now, a dragon with two little children, illustrates the kind of things that many people's minds have been grown up on. Look at this, Mickey Mouse, the Sorcerer's Apprentice. You probably thought that at least Disneyland was okay, but it's not. The next scene shows Mickey Mouse from his fingers coming electrical energy of witchcraft. Disneyland and these cartoons and television is a means by which occultism is being pumped into the minds of your children. Get the television out of your house. Destroy it if you have to. It's one of the main mediums for spiritualism today. Today, some of these great movies, like the one on the screen called Gremlins, take the images of devils and embed them into the minds of children and create whole avenues of terror that can be tapped in by demons as we enter into the time of trouble. And you're making it impossible for your children to find a Savior in this way. Demons are entertaining our children across the screen today. The game Dungeons and Dragons has become so popular in the last 2 decades, and again, it trains young people to become fascinated with and exercised in the knowledge of the occult. And the picture on the screen is one of their advanced Dungeons and Dragon players' handbooks that has incantations and tells you what powers you'll have in your particular role. The picture on the screen now is to illustrate that thousands and thousands of young people, because they don't have a good Christian family, they're raised in humanistic institutions that leave them empty, are searching for spiritual reality. And friends, they're going into the occult because Christianity is failing them. Where is the hope for the future? Look at the picture on the screen now. Doesn't that tug at your heart to see little children raised by people who have come into the occult? What hope do they have? There are probably about 4 million children today that are missing, and many of them are used as human sacrifices, and that information can be documented from many sources and television programs that have tried to warn parents of the dangers of these covens. The picture on the screen right now is a coven. This was published in National Geographic. A coven is usually a little witchcraft church group of about 13. When the picture was taken, they noticed blue electric energy across that screen around this group. And look at the children, what chance do they have? We need to be close to God and be solidly founded upon truth, and then we need to reach out to these people. Children are being trained in the arts of the occult that are thousands and thousands of years old. Many of these young people are brought